It was his first day in uniform. He was walking through Wicklow town, badge on his chest, Ireland's flag on his shoulder, when a car drove past him and suddenly stopped. The driver did a U-turn, parked right beside him, got out. And then the man shook his hand and said 4 words that made everything make sense.
Now I know my son can be a Garda.
That man was black, and so was the officer. This is the story of Garda Emmanuel Samuel, and it starts not in Ireland, but in a refugee camp. Emmanuel Samuel was born in 1996, not in a hospital, not in a town with a name you'd recognize, but in a refugee camp in northern Uganda. His parents are from South Sudan. During the Second Sudanese Civil War, a conflict that ran for over 20 years and killed more than 2.5 million people, his family had no home. They moved between villages and camps, never safe, never settled. His parents spent half their entire lives as refugees. He grew up in that camp. And here's the thing that will stop you cold. He says that even inside the refugee camp, his family wasn't safe. They had to keep moving within the camp itself. That is the world Emmanuel was born into. Then, in 2008, something changed. A United Nations program identified families still in danger in refugee camps and matched them with countries willing to take them in. Emmanuel's family went through a lengthy process, screenings, interviews, orientation programs, and Ireland said yes. Emmanuel was 12 years old. He arrived in Kilkenny town with his parents and siblings. No certainty. But something remarkable happened. He played football. He joined clubs. He got to know villages across rural Kilkenny. And years later, he'd say something that captured it perfectly.
I knew no other place as well as I knew Kilkenny. It really felt like home.
His brother joined the Irish Defence Forces and served in Lebanon with UNIFIL. His sister became a social care worker. The family didn't just survive Ireland, they became part of it. But here's the part of Emmanuel's story that most people don't know, and honestly, it's the most important part. Before he ever put on that uniform, he nearly didn't make it. Because Emmanuel Samuel, the man who survived one of the world's deadliest civil wars, almost lost himself in the comfort of Ireland. Stick with me, because this is where it gets real. Emmanuel went to college. He studied social science at Waterford Institute of Technology. He was on a path. And then in 3rd year, he stopped.
I found myself in a really bad place. I had got caught up in the wrong crowd. I was not happy with the direction my life was heading. I had just lost direction.
A boy who had survived a war zone, who had made it across continents, learned a new language, built a new life, was now adrift. He took a gap year. In that silence, in that difficult, uncomfortable space, he asked himself one question that would change everything.
What do I want my life to be?
During that gap year, Emmanuel came across a Japanese concept called ikigai. It means roughly, the place where your passion, your skill, and the world's need all meet. Where what you love, and what you're good at, and what the world needs intersect. And when Emmanuel thought about what his ikigai was, one answer kept coming back. On Garda Shiukauna. He wanted to work with communities. He wanted to serve. And perhaps most powerfully, he felt a debt to the country that had saved his family. He believed Ireland gave his family salvation. When they arrived, they had nothing. He asked himself how he could show that gratitude. He wanted to serve this nation. So he walked into Templemore, Ireland's national Garda training college. He was, he believes, the only black person in his entire intake.
Ireland gave my family salvation. When we arrived, we had nothing. What can I do to show that gratitude? I wanted to serve this nation.
During training, posted to Carlo Garda Station, he got a call. An ambulance couldn't access a building. An elderly woman had fallen and couldn't open her door. Emmanuel scanned the perimeter, got over a back wall, found the back door unlocked, went in, spoke to her. She was safe. He says he was very fulfilled. That was exactly what he had signed up for, to help people. Now, on the streets of Wicklow, aged just 30, he gets stopped constantly. People who have never seen a Black Garda before. Some curious, some emotional, some just wanting to shake his hand. And he meets every single one with the same thing: patience, decency, and respect.
I was very fulfilled. This was what I signed up for, to help people.
Ireland is changing. In last year's Garda recruitment drive, 23% of applicants described themselves as non-white Irish out of 11,000 applications. Only 2% were black. That's roughly 220 people. On Garda Síochána, under Commissioner Justin Kelly, is actively pushing for that number to grow. Because a police force that looks nothing like the community it serves cannot fully serve it. Emmanuel knows this. He's living proof of it.
Do not mind what people tell you what you can and can't do. It's really down to you. People should not restrict themselves. I didn't, and I became a Garda.
From a refugee camp in Uganda to the streets of Wicklow, and we celebrate that. We celebrate Emmanuel. We celebrate what he represents. But we also hope with everything we have that a day will come when a story like his does not make headlines. Not because it stops being remarkable, but because it has become the norm. Because Black Garda and officers from every background walking the streets of Ireland is simply expected, unremarkable, ordinary. That is the Ireland worth building. Emmanuel Samuel is already building it. If that story moved you, share it with one person who needs to hear it. And if you want the story of another trailblazer rewriting what Ireland looks like, that video is right here.